Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Today I'd like to discuss about goals. And I know that so many people are struggling about goal setting. They don't know how to set goals and how much the goals are important and they are undeniable part of our life. So because of some of the problems and obstacles that they encounter throughout this journey, they just skip their goals. So today I want to discuss about all of them, about what the goal is, why we have to set it, and the great framework for this, and about dual importance of system and goal together, practical tip, and how we can manage the obstacles and all of them together. And I explored various articles, various YouTube videos, and I tried to get a very comprehensive and practical analysis of all of those, and I will reference all of them in the description down below, and I hope that you like it. Please don't skip the goals. Just watch this video until the end and you will get a lot of important and practical tips and information. Let's get started. Okay guys, what a goal is. Goal is a desired outcome or consequence that one aims to achieve within a set time frame. And it actually includes various objectives that a smaller part of goals. This is actually based on the steps that we are passing to achieve that goal that are measurable and specific and can provide us direction and clarity. I know that maybe this meaning can confuse you, but don't worry at all. We explore all of the information. This is hold the thing that's in your mind. For instance, I want to achieve that thing. This is my goal. And that goal is broken down into different objectives that are measurable, that are specific. I specify, for instance, I have to pass all of these steps, this sequence, in order to achieve that goal. That goal is in my mind and I like it, and this is my desire. For instance, I like to have a fit body. Okay, all of them. This is not a correct goal. I will tell you why. But for instance, I like to have a fit body. I like to be an athlete. So these are the steps that I have to, for instance, pass. For example, I have to register in a gym. I have to buy some of the athlete clothes, and I have to set a specific time. For instance, on even days from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. to go to the gym or find different Now, the really important point is here. We have different types of goals. First of all is about outcome goals that focuses on the end result, okay? For instance, about winning a competition. To be honest, this is not my favorite type of goal, and I won't suggest you to have this kind of goal, and I will tell you about other types, but this is not favorable because you only focus on the end result and you are skipping the journey. The journey is the most critical part of the goals. The path that you are passing to achieve that goal. The goal itself is only about compass. I will talk about them later, but it provides us clarity, direction, but the major process is important, how we can reach to that goal, how we can achieve it. And this is the process that is so important, not the goal itself. So outcome goals that so many people unfortunately are just focusing on the end result, and after achieving that goal, it would be normal for them after a while. So this is not something that I recommend you. Another type that is my favorite is process goals. It means that it emphasizes on the actions that lead into progress. So here the progress is so important. For instance, you have a habit, you are creating a habit to go to the gym every day or on even days. So this is about progress. Today I'm here, and for instance, another day or tomorrow I have 1% improvement. So process goals, in my perspective, is one of the best ones. It focuses on the journey rather than the end result itself. Another type of goal that, again, I like it, but not as much as process goal, is performance goal. Is when you target a specific skill or benchmark, for instance, about improving something like typing speed and etc. So it's somehow good part, and In my perspective, it could be combined as well. You target a specific skill in process perspective, okay, in progress perspective. So that's great too. And the final part is about short-term versus long-term goals. Short-term, as is obvious from its name, it's about the goals that are achievable within a short period of time. And long-term goals, it's about goals that can last for several years to achieve. So for this kind of goals that is so long and could be overwhelming and can bore us, we have to break it down into a small goals and smaller steps to be achievable, because it's so long and we have to focus on the smaller steps that we are passing rather than the big picture itself. Now we come up with this really important question: why do we need goals? There are very benefits that we can discuss about them, but I like to summarize it in only 4 items. First of all, it's about focus and motivation. Goals provide us a clear focus, direct our efforts, and prevent aimlessness. This sentence is a really great clarification of why we need goals. Guys, just consider a person who's just going without any direction, okay? And he or she doesn't know that the efforts that they put in is really valuable or not. So they are aimless and they don't know what they are doing right now. So this is a really important part, that we need concentration, we need direction to pass, and this is the something that we can pass to achieve that a special goal. The second one is sense of accomplishment. Guys, achieving goals can boost our sense of progress and fulfillment, boosting self-confidence, and finally maintain momentum. Okay, consider that you are doing something, a small step to achieve your goal, and after accomplishing this task, you have great sense of progress. You feel like, I did it, I accomplished something that makes me more closer to achieve my goal. So this is a great sense, and it's like self-compassion. You are doing something that makes you feel better because it's aligned with your goal. So a sense of progress. And of course, when you do something, even the small one, it boosts your self-confidence. You have more confidence to do it more. It's about the sensing that you are gaining after accomplishing those tasks, and it's really amazing. And finally, as I told you, you have a progress. You're doing small steps to achieve your goals. This is actually creates momentum. You are doing one, and it creates momentum to do another one, and after accomplishing and you feel sense of confidence, then you dive into the next one, and etc. So you are in the chain of doing something for your goals. The third one is about growth and development. Of course, when you're setting goals and you're trying to achieve them, not just thinking about goals, doing something for them, that it makes to have progress in both perspectives, personal and professional. When you're doing something in your personal life that is valuable, of course, it leads you to do more even in your business, even in your professional perspective. So all of them, it's like just a connected chain that you're completing them. The final and one of the most critical benefit of setting goals is efficient resource management. Guys, goals can prioritize and allocate time, energy, and resources effectively. So if you don't have goal, you don't know spend your time and energy in which perspective, and you are just consuming a lot of energy and time in maybe on low impact activities that aren't valuable, that aren't aligned with your goals. And when you don't have goals, others set your goals to do them, and it makes you again aimless, and unfortunately it doesn't lead to any achievable things or achievable goals. So it's really important, because goals prioritize my daily actions. So I like to achieve that goal, so I have to, for instance, create these habits on my daily basis. I have to do this, I have to do that, this is my progress, this is the friend that I have to make, and etc. So it leads me to prioritize what should I do and what I shouldn't do. This is really important, and a lot of people don't know about this, and The critical part is what the things that I shouldn't do. This is the something that the people are struggling with, and including myself, that we don't prioritize. But when we set goals, we know that this is the direction and this is the sequence, this is the steps that I have to do and accomplish in order to achieve that. So my energy, my time, my resources should be spent on this part rather than, for instance, spending my time in somewhere else. So guys, the next question is, what happens if I don't set goals? I already talked about why do we need goals, and I don't want to just repeat my sentences because I almost covered the essential parts, but for now I only just pointing some of the points in order to remind you about again why we have to set goals. Lack of direction, as I told you, if you don't set goals, you feel aimless and you are just going nowhere and you don't know that the efforts that you're putting are valuable or not, and etc. Another part is about reduced motivation. As I told you, when you accomplish a task, it motivates you to do more and a sense of progress, and you don't have it, so the momentum will be reduced and you don't have motivation to do anymore. Another one is underachievement. The goals push us to stretch our limits and to go beyond our limitation. And when we don't set any goals, there is a risk of staying in comfort zone. Okay, and it's not good at all. We'll have to go beyond our limitation. We have to expand our comfort zone to discover more and explore more, to learn something and achieve the goals that we desire. And the final part is inefficient use of resources. As I told you, when you don't have goals, you don't know what you have to do. You're just doing something else randomly or based on something that happens for you or someone asks you. So if you don't set goals, you spend your time, energy, and resources on low impact activities that are not valuable for you. Now, one of the most critical part of our presentation, our record today, is about how to set goals. We have a great framework. I call it a smarter, that each letter stands for something that I like to discuss about it. And this kind of framework is applicable for many goals, but we have some of the abstract goals that these kind of goals, this kind of framework not working for them maybe too well, and I will discuss about them. Don't worry if you don't like this kind of framework to set your goals. It's absolutely fine, and I will what you have to do if you don't like to follow this structure. So smarter. S stands for specific. It means that you have to define your goal with precision. What does it mean? For instance, instead of saying that I like to read more, you just say and tell to yourself that I read books, for instance, on odd days at 8 p.m. Okay, you are specifying and you are setting time. And for instance, if you can set location as well, it's gonna be great because your brain knows that that location of the home is really assigned for reading. So you specify the exact time and days to read your books, or you can pair it with your habits that I will talk about them later. But for this moment, for example, after brushing my teeth, I like to read for 10 minutes. This is kind of another one that I like to discuss about it now, just to provide your perspective. Another is measurable. You have to set criteria to track your progress. Metrics like, for instance, how many miles I walked. I don't know, distance time, or something like this. You have to have criteria, you have to have metrics to measure your progress. For instance, I walked for 5 kilometers, and another day I walked for 5.1 kilometers. So 100 meters can be your improvement, okay? So you have to set criteria and don't forget it. It's so important and you have to feel the progress, okay? And when you feel the progress, you will have momentum. Okay, it motivates you up to do more. So please set criteria to measure your achievements. I don't mean the the last one. I don't mean just achieving that goal. I mean that the smallest steps that you pass for your goal. So set criteria to measure your progress. A stands for achievable. Goals should be challenging but possible to achieve. Please, please, I'm begging you, set realistic goals. Just don't set something that is beyond your all of the resources that you have and you are going to achieve it, I don't know, maybe in for 30 years later. So in that time, I don't think that it could be useful for you anymore. But you have to consider your limitation. You have to consider the scope and don't set unrealistic goals. As I mentioned already, they should be challenging, but should be achievable. If you set something that's unachievable or unrealistic and you cannot and you couldn't achieve them, so it leads you to disappointment and you won't set any goals anymore. And this is one of the most important part that many people have problems with them, and they set unrealistic goals. For instance, they don't have money and they want to, for instance, buy a palace. So in that time, this goal is unrealistic and it's not a goal at all, and they lead them to aimlessness and effortless and emptiness, so they cannot achieve it. And after that, they are just saying that goals don't work for me and I have to skip them. So don't make mistake about it. Set realistic, achievable, but possible goals. R stands for relevant. It means that we have to set goals that are aligned with our values. What are my values? What are my personal mission statements? What are the things that I would like to fight for them for a whole life? Okay, and finding those values is not something easy, and if you don't have values in your life, it's something normal. Please don't bother yourself for this. For instance, I like to help other people, so if the goals that I'm setting is aligned with helping people, so it's just intensified and encourage me to achieve that goal. E stands for evaluate. It means that you have to regularly review your progress and make adjustments if needed. Guys, this is a really critical part and so many people skip this. For instance, they set a special or a particular goal and they do something for achieving that goal, some of the tasks, some of the steps, and after a while, they just don't see any improvement, they don't see any progress, so they just telling themselves that, oh, I cannot achieve this, and they just skip the goal setting and just try to explore aimless again. So this is a really critical part, guys. Please don't skip this step. For instance, if you don't make any progress, so there's a cause for that, there's a root for that, you have to find it. So regularly review your progress directs you to make adjustments. So I did that task and it wasn't aligned with my goal. For instance, it just wasted my time. Or I had a meeting with a friend that we wanted to make a progress about something and it wasn't helpful because that person is not responsible, and we have to eliminate this. Or for this purpose, I have to create these habits, I have to eliminate these habits. So all of these are adjustments that you have to make if they are essential. And please don't stick to just same plan, you have to adjust it. If you are going in the wrong direction, again you have to make adjustment to return back to your main road. Okay, all of them together. So please don't forget to regularly review your progress. R stands for reward. Please recognize all the achievements and celebrate every milestone, and these small steps that you're celebrating for them can motivate you up, can maintain the momentum. And please don't forget it, our brain is working based on dopamine, so we are actually helping our brain to produce dopamine in order to motivate us up and push us for doing more. So please don't skip this part and try to celebrate, even for instance about filling a checkbox that your brain see that, oh, I'm doing well, so this is a progress. And as I told you, it's based on sense of accomplishment, and reward yourself even for the most smallest step. As the last part of the setting goal framework, I mean smarter, we have to consider two important points. As I told you about relevancy, you have to set goals aligned with your values. Please don't skip this step. It's so important. And when you feel satisfied inside, so you do it more in outside. So please consider that the goals should be aligned with your values and try to find out your values. This is so important. And another part that is so important is about abstract goals. Abstract goals won't categorize in a smarter framework because they are not specific, they are not measurable like a smarter framework. They are measurable but not in that standard. So for these purposes, it's absolutely fine. For instance, you want increasing daily calmness, and it's absolutely fine. This is an abstract goal, and don't take it hard for yourself, and only focus on incremental improvement and routine reflection. This is something that you have to do. Do something in your daily basis that can increase your calmness, and furthermore, try to see improvement. You're less angry today in comparison with yesterday. So this is absolutely fine, and don't worry, you can set any kind of goal that you desire. Now, this is so critical. I told this so many times, so I'm truly sorry about this, but it's really important. And this is the distinguish between goals and systems, and we have to consider the differences between them. And without system, we are not able to achieve those goals. Okay, we have to consider system. But what is the system really? System is the series of habits, routines, processes that help individual work toward their goals consistently. Guys, consistently is so crucial. It means that you are doing something constantly. Okay, it's not talking about the end result only, it's talking about your daily action, daily routines that you are accomplishing every single day, and it's talking about your daily basis. When you have a great routine, great habits that are aligned with your goals, so it leads you gradually to natural outcome rather than just focusing on the end result. You have habits, your daily actions are aligned with your goals, you are doing something naturally without putting a lot of effort. At first you have put a lot of effort, but after a while the amount of energy and time that you are spending for creating that habit would be vanished, and you will do that habit more smoothly and easier without spending too much time, and sometimes unconsciously. So after a while, after creation of those habits, gradually you reach to your goals naturally without considering the end result and blah blah blah. So habits lead you to the natural outcome, and it's less dependence. The system is less dependent on fluctuating motivation that depends on various aspects, for instance the environment, for instance about the friends. So it doesn't lead to any motivation. It's habits. As I told you, it's routines, it's habits, and the focus would be on daily actions, on the habits, and on the processes that everyone has in their daily basis. What about goals? If we have systems, if we have our habits, our daily actions, why do we need goals? System is great, but we have to have a direction to go there. I need a direction to understand which habits should be created, which routine I should create for my daily basis. So our goal is like compass that shows us direction, and based on that direction I will create a system. It means I create habits, I create routines, and all of them together as an integration part, as an integration and comprehensive part, can lead us for something that we desire. And there is a very special quote that I heard from Ali Abdaal YouTube channel, and it was measure the gain, not the gap. Now I'd like to discuss about some of the practical tips can help you for setting goals. The first one is start small. Please don't set a very huge goal for yourself at first. Your habits, your mind should be adaptive with goal setting. Don't confuse it and don't put it in a hard situation. Just start small with manageable and achievable goals. With early wins can motivate it up to set more bigger goals in the future. The second technique is visualize technique. To be honest, I'm not a fan of this technique, but it's suggested by researchers and based on the research papers that just consider and visualize what is your goal and you achieve it, and consider the steps how I achieve that goal, and this actually helping for keeping momentum and motivation. Another amazing tip, and I can call it technique, is habit stacking. It means that pairing new habits with existing routines. This helps you for a more consistent and a smooth integration for creating new habits. I told you already, for instance, after brushing your teeth, this is the existing routine. You wanna brush your teeth, you connect it to a new habit that you wanna create. For instance, reading, okay? Or I don't know, anything that you like to create. So pairing new habits with existing routine is amazing technique, and I use it a lot in my life, and I highly suggest you to use it. Another one is environmental design. It means to create a supportive physical environment around yourself. It means that we are not, as the author mentioned in the Atomic Habit books, that we will explore it later. Um, this is really important, that we are not the product of the circumstances, and we have to be architects for our life. So design your environments, your home, your room, your, I don't know, your desk, your studio, into a place that support your new habits or great habits that you wanna keep them. Okay, for instance, if you wanna read more, so just place your books visible around your home. Create supportive design, create a supportive physical environment. Or for instance, you wanna be athlete or you wanna exercise more, so place your, I don't know, clothes, suitable clothes for exercising, again, visible around your home. All of this can help you to create more habits and less friction to accomplish them. And the last one is habit progress tracking. Okay? Use some of the applications that for habit tracking or journaling. Journaling again is really amazing because your site encounter to this page all the time. If you, for instance, stick it on the wall, and this is my recommendation for you, that if you have a great habit or you want to create a new amazing habit, please stick a paper on the wall and just use a checklist in order to remind you every time. And when you see that checklist that you accomplish a lot of days, so it fills off again self-confidence and boosts your motivation up. So all of this together can help you for goal setting. And now we come up with this question: what if I fail? I set a goal and I failed. There are several tips again that can help you to overcome this failure. The first one is identify and reflect on obstacles. Please, as I told you already, explore and find out the major causes of setbacks, major causes of failures, why that happened, which perspective you didn't consider, or what you lost, or the challenges that you didn't predict them. Okay, all of this together, consider and please analyze it, and don't be afraid of failures. Failures, it can happen for all of us. So just analyze yourself, analyze your goal, analyze the steps that you passed, and find out the root causes of those setbacks. Adjust and adapt as a second one. I already mentioned again, please, instead of giving up, just adjust your goal. And if it's too big goal, just break it down into smaller steps. Just make it easier for your brain to handle it, to manage it. Another practical tip is self-compassion. Self-compassion involves being kind to ourselves. We just accept our failures and we are telling to ourselves that the failures, the setbacks, that everything that happened can happen for all of the people, and is the natural part of growth. Okay, growth won't happen without any consequences, without any cost. So for every desired consequence and result, we need to sacrifice. And the final part is focus on process rather than perfection. So just consider, as I told you, there's steps, and consider this is a progress that you are passing toward your goals, the steps that you are accomplishing them, and the progress that you are creating, and fulfillment and sense of accomplishment, just rather than, oh my god, I failed about something. Okay, just consider as a natural part of growth things that can happen for any person who set goals. So please consider this point as well. Okay guys, now we're done. We explored a lot of information, and I know that it could be overwhelming for you, but I try to provide you a very comprehensive analysis of goal setting, that of course if you follow the steps that I provided for you and based on the references that I mentioned in the description down below, you will have a great goal setting. We explore what the goal is, we explore why do we need them, and what happens if we don't set any goals, and we talked about a smarter framework, how we can use them, and about the abstract goals that won't fit in a smarter framework. And I told you that don't take it hard, and it's okay to have any kind of goal. And we talked about dual importance of system and goals, and this is really important. The system are our habits, our daily actions and routines. um, Goals is our campus, our direction. So the system is aligned with our goals. The habits that are created is based on the goal that we are setting. And about some of the practical tips that can help you for setting goals. And finally, we talked about the obstacles and about the things that might happen to prevent you to achieve your goals, or provides you a challengeable step to overcome. I'm not saying failure, if you notice. And all of them together, guys, please watch this video several times, and it can help you for understanding better, because as I told you, there are so many stuff that I covered, and I hope that it's gonna be useful for you, even your family, your friends. And thank you so much for watching this video and for joining me today. I love you guys. Take care. Bye bye.